The dawn of the east was the darkest before dawn, and a figure was quietly sneaking out from the Dragon Cave mountain and disappeared in an instant. Half an hour later, in the land thousands of miles north of Heavenly Fate City, this figure was revealed again. It was Xianxia who came to the appointed time. He watched around for a while, and immediately flew towards a small mountain not far away. At this moment, two people on the mountain bag had arrived early and were meditating cross-legged. Both of them were men. They looked very young, and surprisingly, they only had Saint King 3-layer cultivation. Xianxia didn't cover his body. He rushed directly to the mountain bag and just stood firm. The two opened their eyes and glanced at him lightly, and one of the old-looking men didn't mean to speak. Closed his eyes indifferently again. It was another person who looked at him with interest and nodded at him. Xianxia also nodded at him, but neither side had the idea to speak. The area on the mountain bag was not small. While Xianxia was suspicious, he quickly found a place to sit cross-legged. He heard from Fei Jitu that the operation was dangerous and thought he was going to bring a lot of void return stage. After all, the other party had made it clear that if he was not interested in the power of the fiery bird item spirit, he would not be eligible to participate in this time operation. Where did he know that as soon as he came to the appointed place, he saw two martial artists who were the same level of cultivation as him? He is suspicious, but Xianxia also knows that since Fei Jitu wants to bring them, he must have his own plan. These two people either have a special ability to rescue Qiantong, or they are the elites of the elite. Looking at it now, the former is more likely. On the mountain, the three did not make a sound. For a while, they were very quiet. After waiting for about half of the incense time, Xianxia, who was meditating, suddenly opened his eyes and looked away. A rainbow of light was approaching here quickly. Obviously, it's the martial artist who came here for the appointment. Because Fei Jitu's actions this time are very confidential, everyone is diverted, which is also what Xianxia expected. After the rainbow approached, it fell on the mountain bag. A beautiful figure appeared. It was as a woman. And the figure is enchanting, the face is pretty, and the black hair is straight and bright. However, this woman's cultivation level is also Saint King 3-layer, which made Xianxia puzzled. Counting himself, there are already 4 Saint Kings 3-layer martial artists here. Where did Fei Jitu go? He wouldn't expect on counting these 4 Saint King stages to save Qiantong, wouldn't he? At this point Xianxia's face sank. After the woman landed, she suddenly found that the 3 best places in the place had been occupied, and could not help but frown. The man who had expressed his friendship with Xianxia before then stood up happily and cupped his fists. It turned out to be Cici girl. Since last time I saw you, I hasn't seen you for a year. Cici girl also came. Listening to his tone of voice, he seemed to know this woman, and from the look of him, he seemed to be very interested. The woman named Cici glanced at him indifferently and said, "Kai, you actually came. The Fey City Lord vision is not very good. Even the formation masters like you have been found. It seems the future of this trip is uncertain." Despite being teased by her, the man named Kai did not feel annoyed at all and said, "Actually, the Fey City Lord invited my father before, but father is reluctant and he is in retreat, so it is not convenient for him to go out, so I will take care of it. I'm afraid I still have to cooperate with Cici girl a lot and ask the girl to educate me." Humph. The woman named Cici snorted, and there was an arrogant meaning on her pretty face. "I don't dare to teach you, although your Kai family's research on the way of formation is not as good as our Du family's, but it is also somewhat unique. Just don't drag my hind legs once. That's that." Kai was still smiling, as if he didn't have any guts, which made another man show a hint of contempt. After listening to their conversation, Xianxia realized why Fei Jitu would bring these 2 Saint King 3-layer. It turned out that the 2 men had a lot of research on the way of formation, and it was the same for the entire family. Fei Jitu was still somewhat prepared. Du Cici looked at the indifferent man and Xianxia again, and asked proudly, "Who are these 2? Was it also at the invitation of the Fey City Lord? How is the cultivation level the same as us?" She looked down on the appearance of the Saint King's martial artist, and Xianxia couldn't help but frown, knowing that this woman should be the kind of arrogant person Kai smirked. These two brothers are not clear about their origins. If you don't mind, why don't you introduce yourself? Anyway, everyone needs to be on the road together to be more familiar, and it will be good for future cooperation. Compared with Du Cece, this Kai's temper should be very gentle. When talking with Du Cece, he was gentle. When asking Yang Kai and the other person, he also have a smile on his face which give people a sense of closeness with him. Lian Guang. The indifferent man say the word like a gold, and after reporting his name, he disappeared. Lian's surname. It was Du Cece and Kai. After hearing this, they couldn't help but change their face slightly. They seemed to look at Lian Guang with some fear, as if the other's surname had a long history. Yang Kai looked at him curiously. Because the Lian family is very famous in this area, even in the whole Shadowed Star, the reputation is not weaker than that of the average sect. Even if people like Yang Kai and the ignorant people have heard it, the fame of this family can be imagined. The Lian family is not very powerful, and the people are not strong. It is said that the whole family is only 100 people. The strongest one is Void Return 1 layer stage. Such a family is so many on the Shadowed Star, but only the Lian family is widely known. There is no other reason for this. The Lian family is proficient in puppetry. It is said that the disciples of the Lian family are good at refining and controlling puppets. Their cultivation level may not be too high, but their combat effectiveness is far superior to the martial artist of the same level. Because they have countless puppets, they have refined themselves to assist in combat. When they're fighting, it will form a spectacular scene of one or even a dozen of simultaneous battles. Moreover, it's heard that the Lian family still has some of the strongest puppets with strength comparable to those of Void Return 3-layer stage. The existence of these puppets alone is enough to deter many generations of people. There used to be a family with far more strength than the Lian family, coveting the other's puppet technique, wanting to destroy their home, snatching the secret technique of puppetry, but unfortunately exhausted the power of the whole family, and failed to succeed. Finally, the Lian family cleaned them up to the root. It was also during that battle that the reputation of the Lian family was brought out. Several puppets with strength comparable to those of Void Return 3-layer stage realm shined in that battle, killing countless enemies, making them envious and extremely frightened. And even the clan family is clever, knowing that the man is guilty for their sins. Since then, he has found the Shadow Moon Palace as a backer. Every year, he has been refining some puppets for the Shadow Moon Palace free of charge, and it is also stable under the protection of its wings. So far, no one dared to make any idea to fight. Say after hearing this introduction from Lian Guang, Du Cece and Kai were taken aback. The family from which they were born was not a small family. They were famous because they both mastered the way of formation. But, in the case of reputation, they are still a lot worse. Yang Kai showed a thoughtful look. Fei Jitu wanted to bring Du Cece and Kai together. It must be to break the restrictions and formation in the ancient ruins. But why did he find someone from the Lian family? After that, even after reporting his own name, Lian Guang didn't say much, and seemed to be naturally muted. After Du Cece and Kai got back to their senses, they looked at Yang Kai together, and when Yang Kai self-reported his name, their expression suddenly became strange. Kai looked up and down Yang Kai even more, and wondered, "Brother Yang, wouldn't you just be the one who messed up the Heavenly Fate City a few days ago?" Yang Kai said with a smile, "If there is no second person going to Heavenly Fate City to make a fuss, it should be me." Kai was about to turn Yang Kai into a man of heaven, and even Du Cece's arrogant look also converged a lot. Not only that, Lian Guang even opened his eyes and looked at Yang Kai again. Although the family of the three of them is not weak, but no one has the courage to go to Heavenly Fate City to kill and set fire. What is even more bizarre is that this guy was not only okay after killing and setting fire, but was also invited by Fei Jitu to this place and participate in this operation. This surprised all three, not knowing what kind of agreement Yang Kai and Fei Jitu reached, actually letting the latter not hold him accountable. However, the three of them knew that there was some secret and undisclosed, but they didn't have a thorough understanding. However, after knowing Yang Kai's identity, Kai had the same taste as Yang Kai. He no longer remained silent as before, but chatting and laughing with him. After a while of chatting, Xianxia realized why his attitude suddenly changed a lot. It turned out that there were many contradictions between the Kai family and the Xie family. He even had a few big losses under the Xie family. Last time Xianxia was in Heavenly Fate City, he killed the Void Return stage strongmen of the Xie family. Many families and martial artists who had hatred against the Xie family clapped and praised, including the Kai family. Xianxia's beheading Xie Quan is tantamount to helping them breath out a bad breath. How can they be unhappy? Kai He was a member of the Kai family, and he was naturally pleased to see Xianxia. Andu Cici found a place to sit down, casually closed her eyes to meditate. After waiting for about half an hour, several figures suddenly appeared strangely on the small mountain bag, which shocked the three Saint King realm except Xianxia. Only Xianxia's spiritual mind was very powerful and had long aware of it, so his luck was indifferent. After seeing that the person coming was Fei Jitu, Kai He and other young elite were relieved and stepped forward to greet him. To be continued.